Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we will be doing economics. In this video I have covered from chapter number 6 to chapter number 10 because those are the only chapters included in our portion. But in case your portion includes any other chapters, comment below. I'll cover those chapters as well as soon as possible. We will be referring only to the economics textbook as and when required and my handwritten notes. These notes will be shared in the description box below, so if you find them helpful, you can go and check them out. So let us quickly begin. Population, chapter number 6. Every chapter starts with a definition, and that is something we have to learn word by word, hence I am not explaining it. The first concept which comes here is a birth rate, death rate, and the survival rate. So birth rate is also known as fertility rate. It is nothing but number of live births per thousand living population. Similarly, death rate is number of deaths per thousand of living population. Survival rate. This is a new concept. It is birth rate minus death rate. To put it in simpler terms, it is actual rate of growth of population. So number of births minus number of deaths. The next topic which comes as important is the trends in population growth. I have written it as it is. I have just noted down the keywords. So that's all you need to learn. This is my point of view. Maybe you are someone who likes to learn it all. I just like to learn the keywords and frame my own answers. The next topic in the textbook is statistics from 2011 census. We have to learn these figures. There is nothing much to understand here. Moving on, trends in population growth. So the first decade mentioned over here, 1911 to 1921, a marginal decline was noticed in population. That is from 25.2 cr to 25.1 cr. 1921. This is a very important year of Great Divide. From this year onwards, increase was noticed in population. Decline comes later, but from that year onwards there is increase, so that's why. 1931 to 1941, a stable growth rate 1 to 1.3%. 1951 to 1971, population increases tremendously. Within 2 decades, the population increased from 36.1 cr to 54.8 cr. 1971 to 2000, boom, population explosion, a sharp rise. 2001 to 2011, decline has started. Disguised unemployment is further divided into 4 categories. Technological unemployment. As the technology increases, machine replaces the labor force. Therefore, employment falls. Frictional unemployment. This is temporary in nature. This takes place due to strikes by the workers, power cuts, and so on and so forth. Structural unemployment. See, as mentioned, technology increases, but our labor force remains unskilled. They don't have the necessary skills needed to operate that level of technology. Therefore, they are unemployed. Cyclical unemployment. So what happens in any trade is that employment opportunities are created due to increase in demand. When the demand falls, there are no more jobs. So these extra people who are hired at the time of extra demand are now thrown out of their jobs. Again demand increases, again they are employed. But when the demand decreases, again they are unemployed. Therefore, due to this repeated phases in the trade cycle, it is termed as cyclical unemployment. Urban unemployment is classified into educated and industrial unemployment. Educated unemployment. Educated people prefer white collar jobs. But there is a lack of white collar jobs in India, and educated people are not as willing to do the blue collar jobs, therefore, they remain unemployed. The next type of urban unemployment is industrial unemployment. It is also known as open unemployment. Why? Because the jobs are there in industry, but the people are not compatible to the technology. If they cannot operate that technology, they can obviously not be hired. Therefore, they are unemployed. Next chapter is poverty. Poverty can be classified into two dimensions, material and non material. Material poverty means lack of food, clothing, shelter, and material things, etc. Non material. This means discrimination and the types of growth. Because the other things are either just the policies mentioned or something that is self explanatory. The first cause of unemployment is jobless growth, because economic growth did take place but no jobs were created. Increase in labor due to increase in population. Third cause is increase in machinery. Technology increased, therefore more machines were made, and no one will hire a labor, right, if they have the machine. So jobs went down automatically. Expectations. Once educated, people naturally expect white collar jobs. But there is a lack of white collar jobs in our nation, and no one educated is ready to do the blue collar jobs. Therefore, they remain unemployed. Seasonal nature. India is an agro based economy, therefore, naturally, there are more jobs in agriculture. But the problem in agriculture is again that it can only be practiced during rainy season. Therefore, in remaining seasons, it leaves people unemployed. Slow rate of economic growth. Economy उतनी ज़्यादा नहीं बढ़ रही, तो obviously it cannot absorb the increase in population, right? And migration of rural population. Due to the seasonal nature of agriculture, rural people migrate to cities in hope of jobs. एंड इंडस्ट्रीज भी इतनी ज़्यादा नहीं है कि वो सारे लोगों को अब्जॉर्ब कर ले. अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट इज मेनली क्लासिफाइड इनटू रूरल एंड अर्बन. रूरल unemployment is further classified into seasonal and disguised. Seasonal unemployment, as mentioned earlier, agriculture, tourism, such industries are seasonal in nature. Therefore, they offer jobs only in certain seasons. In other seasons, they leave the people unemployed. Disguised unemployment. This again further gets divided into four categories. These categories are something new in perspective of a CBSE student, because we were not taught the further categories. Well, anyways, let us quickly move ahead. Technological. Technology is getting updated, but our labor force remains unskilled. Therefore, they are general measures to eradicate poverty. These points are directly given in the textbook. I have just noted them down point wise, that is the keywords or the headlines, so that I can learn them easily. 17th October. This is an important date mentioned as it is the International Day for Eradication of Poverty. Next chapter. A very boring but important chapter, Economic Policy of India since 1991. Features of the economic policy. Reason for NEP. This is a question which can be framed because it has been clearly stated in the book. Why did NEP come in first place? The foreign currency had depleted to such a level in the government treasury that there was enough only for the imports for 2 weeks. Annual inflation rate had reached to 16.7%. The other points, for example, main objectives, are clearly mentioned in the textbook, and they can only be learned because you can't really understand the definition. Components of NEP. This is something which is very interesting. The first component is liberalization. Liberal meaning freedom, so economic freedom or freedom for economic decisions. This is stated by Adam Smith in his book Wealth of Nations as something very crucial. Next concept is privatization. Privatization means transfer of ownership from government to private companies. Why is privatization crucial again? Because there were many companies in government sector whose graph had declined, as in there was less profit or in some cases high loss. These companies were sold. And in first place, government was the one who bought quite a few of these companies. For example, Air India, which was recently again rebought by Tatas. So Air India is now an example of privatization. Globalization. Liberalization plus privatization lead to globalization. How? Let us see. So what basically happened was, when an investor was coming, for example, they are from America, so they'll bring it in USD. They had to obviously convert it into rupees. A certain fee was charged. So this was like tariff or taxes. And again, additional tariff was charged because it was foreign investment, it was something coming from outside, and the government wanted to protect the people from competition. But now, because we have to globalize our economy, we had to reduce these taxes. So that's what was done. Coming back to liberalization, in the measure stated Navratna status, I have written it down separately because I found it worthy a long question. You may not. Planning Commission. A quick introduction. It was established in 1950. PM was the ex officio chairman. There were experts from various fields, and the Planning Commission was established for formation of various economic plans. The second important part of this chapter, economic planning in India, are the features of planning. Again, we can just do the keywords. In the first feature, Central Planning Authority, only one term is important. Niti Aayog, established in 2015, or rather, it replaced the Central Planning Commission. Survey. In this point, comprehensive survey. And the second word, human and natural resources. That's all. These are the keywords. You can go and check the notes to understand the keywords. The next topic is 12th 5-year plan from 2012 to 2017. The aim, objective, all these are important points in any 5-year plan. Well, the other 5-year plans are omitted, so not a big deal. But in this 12th 5-year plan, last concept, Niti Aayog. Planning Commission went from apex to the bottom, but Niti Aayog goes from the bottom to the apex. Further differentiation is given in the textbook on the page number 68. It is a very important table and needs to be learned. All the other features also are mentioned very clearly in the text.